to jump on here today and just say hi and do something a little bit different than just writing another blog that you could read. I really just wanted to connect with everybody and see how you're doing. I hope you've had a great summer. I hope you've had some downtime, some R&R, and you've really had a chance to recharge your batteries, because it's really vitally important for us to do that. And that was proven to me again while I was in person in Colorado. When I left corporate back in 2008, I did some assessments as to what my next career phase was going to be. And one of the things that came out in one of the assessments that I did was that I'm definitely an entrepreneur, but I get my energy from people. So I was cautioned to make sure that I did not, because I was going to be a home-based business, as you all know, that I did not disassociate myself from people for a long time, because my energy would start to wane. And that was proven to me a couple of times, actually, when I looked at my kilometer book and realized I hadn't been out of the house for 3 weeks. I sort of put my mood and the lack of connection with people together. So going to the conference was just exactly what Jane needed. It was a chance for me to recharge my batteries, to be with people, to feed on the energy and whatever. And one of the things that it really brought home for me was how isolating it's been for all of us during this pandemic over the last couple of years. I know a lot of people probably have been feeling the same way I have. And I know from coaching with you guys that we've all had our challenges. You know, heck, I struggled. I had some days when you guys were the ones that lifted me up. You were the ones I derived my energy from. You were the ones that helped me to get through some of the things that I was going through in the pandemic. But I also realized that there were a lot of lessons that we learned through the pandemic. And I really I'd hate to see us lose sight of those lessons as we move forward and out the other side of this. Because I think the nature of the businesses that we're in as financial services providers and business owners and dealing with the public and relationship building and all of that, I think there are some really valuable lessons that came out of this pandemic that I wanted to share with you today. I shared them with everybody at the conference, and they really have resonated with me. I also had a number of people come up to me afterwards and say, wow, that really hit home. Thank you very much for sharing those with us. So I'm going to give you a couple of points. They're going to come up on a slide here, and feel free at the end of it to take a picture of the slide or whatever if you want to keep note of what they are. But I think one of the really important lessons that the pandemic taught us, and many of you have heard me say this, it wasn't about selling. It became all about stepping in, stepping up, and supporting. And, you know, many of you, we worked on changing language so that you came across as a real relationship builder in this beautiful Zoom box. And I'm so proud of you, because you guys have been really, really successful in sort of realigning your business and working, not just working and surviving in this box, but you've actually been thriving. So I just wanted to say congratulations. And I hope you take a moment to just pause and stand in that and go, wow, she's right. Like I really did. I learned a lot of new things, and these are some things that I want to take away with me as we go forward. So as I said, stepping in. So stepping in. So how can I help you? How can I support you was a question that I encourage so many people to ask their clients, and it was one that I used on a regular basis. The other was stepping up and going, okay, you might be okay, but how can I support those that you love, care about, that are in your circle to make sure they're all right as well? And the third one was, what can I do? What do you need? I know so many of my clients and friends and family members who are going out and buying groceries for people and delivering medication and whatever. So it was all about those three key things. And I think they're going to be just as important moving forward, because people are still leery about anybody that they see or feel is coming at them to sell them something. And I think this morphs into the next point I wanted to cover. Oh, Tucker's here to say hi. I think it morphs very much into the next one. And what this has proven, this whole, tumultuous time we've been through for the last little while, is Relationships really do matter. And as entrepreneurs and business owners, we are in the relationship building business. And I've noticed that people that really have taken the time to build the relationships with people before they do anything else have really flourished during this business. You know, I've always said this. This is what we do is a relationship-based business. It always has been, and thankfully it always will be. And the next thing that really stood out to me was it's about really truly being there. And it's about being truly present. You know, so many times, I'm sure you're the same as me, you can tell when somebody's not really present. They're not really truly there with you. They're just sort of half listening, which morphs in, of course, to the next bullet point, which is it's about really and truly listening. It's about listening, not to speak, but it's about listening to make sure you hear. The one thing I know for sure is that those who've mastered the art of listening are superstars when it comes to being in business. And it's because they know where they're going, they know what they want to talk about, but they stop and listen. It's not a case of he or she, you know, some people just aren't good with silence, but you have to remember that he or she who speaks first often loses. So it's about, you know, God gave us two of them, and one of these for a reason. So let's be sure we're maximizing our listening capabilities, because they really are what make you superstars and set you apart from everybody else. And I think another big thing that the pandemic brought forward was it's about learning to trust ourselves, learning to realize that, yes, we do know what we're talking about. And yes, we do bring expertise and knowledge and advice to the table. You know, the thing I kept hearing from people through all of this was, it was my financial advisor, it was the business owner that I've been working with, or it's anybody who's into the relationship building business, those that reached out, that were there, that were present, that asked how they could help, that, you know, put a hand forward to lift somebody else up instead of always looking for a hand to lift them up. Those people really and truly have excelled through this. And that also leads into, it's all about being authentic. I've never seen so much authenticity as I have through these last 2 years, because a facade can only, you know, stay up for as long as you can allow it to be there before it actually cracks and lets go. And you know what? It's not as much work when you're just your authentic, true, real self, because you never have to worry about what you said and that what you know, you have to duplicate or whatever. It's just about being you. I had so many people that I got on calls with and just took one look at them and said, okay, what's going on? You know, people I had one person who had an anxiety attack 5 minutes before a coaching call, and I had somebody else who was going through some other issues, but they were authentic. They shared, it was about the relationship and the trust that they felt in confiding with me. And it's the same with your clients. If they've got a really good, authentic, trusting relationship with you, you'll find out more about them than you'll ever need to ask questions about, because they'll let you in. And I think one of the key things that is going to come out of this, I'm really concerned about some of the repercussions from this pandemic. And I think mental wellness is going to be a big part of it. And I know that when you have good financial wellness, it helps with mental wellness, but there's still some work to be done. So even though you might have reached out, you see somebody, you think they're doing okay, you know, that serene little duck that's gliding across the water and looks like it hasn't got a care in the world. Well, sometimes if you pop your head under the water, you'll find out that that poor little duck is paddling like crazy. So make sure that you're finding out how others are doing. You know, I think 3 things disappeared through this pandemic. 1 was kindness, 2 was manners, and I think the 3rd one we could all probably agree upon is common sense. It doesn't cost us anything to be kind. It doesn't cost us anything to be polite to others. And so therefore, two of my keywords for this year are kindness, and it only takes a moment. And it's something that we can all take away with us. So I hope that for whatever you've been through with this pandemic, and I pray that you haven't been touched by too many, things that have been out of your control, or loved ones being ill or whatever. My fondest prayer is that we all come through this in one piece. So having said that, one of the things that I did find during this whole thing was one of the big things that helped me was the support of my mentors, my coach, my comrades, my friends, my accountability buddy, again, whatever. So if you're finding out that you're still having a bit of a struggle getting through this, don't hesitate to reach out and connect with somebody and ask for some support, for some help or whatever, because in my mind, reaching out and asking for help is truly, truly a sign of strength. It is in no way at all a sign of weakness. I wish you continued success. If you think I might be of some support in any of those areas that I've just mentioned, reach out, send me a message, and let's get together and have a chat. But until then, until I see some of you again in August, I wish all of you a great balance of the summer. Enjoy your time with the kids before they go back to school. And remember to take time to be kind to yourself, because self-care is not being selfish. Self-care is taking care of oneself first in order to be able to take care of everyone else. You guys mean the world to me. Have a great day. We'll chat soon. Bye.